What's up, guys? It's EVEnton here, and welcome to the Orless mining ship giveaway. So we're going to be looking at some fits that were sent by you guys, the subscribers here on YouTube, and people that are part of my community. I'm really excited to show them off here in the video and help and kind of really show off your guys' creative muscles when it comes to fitting ships, whether it's for troll purposes or that they're actually like legitimate fits. So I'm ready to show them off. There was 3 rules I did have for the giveaway. The first one was you had to be a subscriber. To be honest, I didn't really look into that part too much. I was just excited that people were submitting and that you guys were relatively active and had some even interesting stories too in the mails that went along with some of the fits. The second rule was that it can't be an ore mining ship. It's pretty much in the title, so it kind of tells itself. And then the third rule was no ships bigger than a battleship. We did have one person submit something bigger, but that's fine. I'm still going to show it off because it looks pretty cool. But still, I didn't want tons of people to just show up in carriers, dreadnoughts, and titans with just a bunch of mining lasers attached to it. I didn't want to get inundated with those fits. So surprisingly, out of all the fits, we're going to be looking at about 7 or 8 of them. I thought we were going to get a few more, but that's completely fine. I'm actually kind of glad because I didn't want the video to be too long, so we will be announcing some winners towards the end of the video and giving some praise. But of all the ships, I don't think there was any repeats of ships themselves, so all the ships are going to be relatively unique. There's going to be no repeats, so I'm really excited to show that off. There's also 2 categories. I had one category for ships under 25 million as kind of like a quote-unquote replacement for barges, because that's roughly the cost of what barges are, at least on like the market currently. And then the other one is just kind of like an uncapped blank check type mining fit. So we'll go ahead and jump into them right now and look at the first fit. Okay, so the first fit we're going to look at is from this guy named didnt. Sorry if I butcher your guys' names as we're going through some of these fits, but clearly this is the guy. He was just trolling me. He said this fit is for the no budget category and it's really cheap, as you're going to see. And as you can see, this ship is clearly bigger than a battleship. He didn't follow one of the rules, but that's completely fine. It's the thought that counts. He's just trolling me with the Ragnarok, and he actually just put what seems to be just the most expensive modules in every single slot to rack up the cost. And it is overloaded the CPU, but I mean, I did give him a chance to offer. I did offer him like another chance to submit another fit that would follow the rules, but he just said sorry and just kind of moved on. But it's the thought that counts, man, and I enjoyed the fit and a good laugh, especially with the trolling when he said it was a really inexpensive ship. So we'll go ahead and look at the other ones here in a sec. Okay, so I'm going to try and look at all the ships that fit under the 25 million or less category. This one is from Sergey Leonov, I believe. And this guy actually sent his fit before I even officially announced the giveaway. I think I mentioned it very briefly in the video prior. And he just sent over his, apparently not a mining ship, but gonna mine anyway, shit fit for you. He said it might survive a small gank attempt. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So he's actually using the Miasmos here. And of course it has one hard point in the high, so he can only fit 1 miner 2. I love the fact he has a mining laser 2 and then a random mining laser 1. And of course that CPU is maxed out. I tried a few different fits myself, and that CPU is definitely an issue, and it's definitely a big bottleneck for making these non-ore mining fits work. As you can see, he's got some overclocking units to make for more CPU, so he actually does have a decent amount. I love the fact he does, he kind of shored up that EM damage and thermal and stuff like that, so he's pretty well rounded with his resistances, so he might be able to survive a catalyst, but to be honest, it's not likely, and it's the thought that counts. And so I think the name of the fit fits it perfectly. It is definitely a shit fit, so I appreciate this submission, my man. All right, and the next one is from a guy in game named Million Hat. He said for the fit contest, and so he actually had 2 submissions. I told him he could only use one, so he looks like he wanted to use this one on the left side. But we'll take a look at both of them anyway. And so he said he wanted to go more for an ore hold amount and tank and a decent amount of mineral output. He said he went for the 25 mil category because those are the other ones he would actually use. I would probably agree. And so he was going to use mining laser upgrades, but he said it was too much CPU. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this one first. So he's actually using a rupture here. Very interesting. And as you can see, I have not learned any of them in Matar ships, but that is fine. So he's utilizing all the hard points and the highs. I love it. He probably has maybe just enough tank to survive a catalyst gank. We shall see. But as you can see, he just loaded up the lows and the the rigs with cargo expanders. So I like the fit. He definitely stayed true to what he said he was going to do, which is really maximize that ore hold, or I guess we should say cargo hold. And he actually does have some mining drones in here. So it looked like because he only has bandwidth, he could do 5 mining drones, but he ended up going with a 4-2 split. So whether he uses 4 and 1 or he ends up going 3 and 2, I guess he does want to have at least one hobgoblin out there to defend himself. So I dig that fit, but that one is not going to be the one he's going to use. So this one's he's actually using an omen. So this, I guess instead of an omen, he's calling it Oh Mine. I dig that name, a bit of a pun. And so again, on this one, it's really hard to use all these hard points up in the highs, especially with the CPU. But expended cargo holds, again, just maximizing. It's really similar to the Rupture. It has a little bit less tank, but I don't know. I think the pun alone of it calling it, instead of an omen, an oh mine, I think that alone is going to give it a really good spot. And again, using some mining drones as well as some hobgoblins, I really, really dig that. So I appreciate the fit, and I love it. Good fit, $1 million hat. Million hat? Yeah, it's million hat, not $1 million hat. But I dig it, man. And it stays right under the 20. It's really close, but it is under the 25 million ISK fit. So I dig it, man. I appreciate the submission. Okay, and for the next one, we have a submission by a guy named Void Strider. So this is actually a guide that sent in 2 as well, one for the under the 25 mil and one for the higher amount. And so this one he actually called the old rock breaker, and I love this little story he said. When I first started playing back in 2006, man, we have an old timer here. There was no orc frigates. I was lost on what to do, so I tried to get in industry and mining and that stuff. All learn by failing. One of the most common method I used was this fit. It had some decent defense and okay hold. The good old days. This definitely did not have great yield or hold, but it got us some rocks. Did not get any rigs in it because back in the day did not have them. They were introducing 10 years back. So basically there's no rigs on this one because rigs didn't exist back in 2006. So I love the fact that he is staying true to the fit here. So we'll go ahead and take a look. I love the fact he's making use of all those turret hard points. Again, using the coprocessor here to increase the CPU amount. Little bit of drone navigation, so he can use some mining drones. I forgot that, yeah, the Vexor is kind of like a drone boat for the most part. And yeah, I mean, I'm digging the fit. I'm a little confused by the cap recharger here a bit. Seems like his cap is fine, but it seems like he did say this is the fit he used back in like 2006. So it seems like he's staying very true to this. He probably could have made the fit much better, but again, he wants to keep it as classic as possible. And I definitely give you some points for that. I really like the fact, and this thing does look like some sort of plasma pistol. I believe someone said this looks like a hair dryer as well. I've not flown the Vexor personally, but I definitely see how this can be a very interesting looking mining ship. So I appreciate the submission, my man, and I look forward to looking at your other fit too as well. But we have one more to look at before we end it. Okay, and the final submission that we have is from JD Brand. So he actually sent in a fit for the 25 mil and one for like the uncapped mining ship fit. This says, if for some reason there was no ventures left, I just had to get out and mine and kind of mine on the cheap. This would be it. Slow to mine, but still faster than a destroyer and less drop trips, I think. So I like the title, if no ventures were left. So he's actually using a Neris. So we're going to simulate the fit here. So he has a nothing in the mids or in the rigs. So very interesting so far. A T1 miner. And so it looks like a T1 fit, except for now we have the reinforced bulkheads too. So he actually does have the most EHP out of any of the mining ships that we've actually looked at so far. It's also the cheapest, and it even has drones to defend itself with too as well. So I'm actually pretty impressed. I honestly did not know the Neris could even. I'm not skilled into Galente industrial ships, so I just had like no idea. But this is really interesting that I could actually use mining drones as well, and even have drones to defend itself as well out in the mining belt. Because the other one, the Miasmos can't use any drones, or it doesn't have any other hard points to defend itself. So if you're on the belt, you're kind of just getting shot at, and you just have to deal with it, even if it's just like the basic high-sec rats. So I'm actually pretty impressed with this fit. I do like it. It's super cheap. It's missing a ton of stuff, so there is room for improvement to build upon this, but I dig the fit. The only thing that's holding it back is the abysmal yield. And I think with the math here, I mean, you're probably in the belt for like almost an hour, like 30 minutes to an hour in the belt just to fill up 2000 M3. But I dig it though. I dig it. It does. I love the fact that people are using haulers to do a bit of mining too as well. And I think it's super interesting that the Neros can actually use mining drones. And I love the fact that I actually use two sets, one for defending itself and one for mining as well. So I dig the fit, man. I like the submission, and I will actually announce it at the end of the video who won of those submissions. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the uncapped amounts of the mining ships here. Okay, and now we are on to the uncapped amounts of ISK when it comes to these ore mining ships. And now we're looking at this one. So this one is from in-game name Eve Mastery. His fit didn't really seem to work, but I did want to read this little description. He said it's a Cinnaball designed to survive well in wormhole space as a gas sucky boy or a rock crusher. Has a probe launcher to scan down gas sites, an improved cloak device to cloak up when people appear on D-scan, ECM drones to ECM the crap out of any dude that tries to tackle you. I dig it. So he actually fixed the fit. There was something wrong with it before, so we'll go ahead and take a look at this. And yeah, I dig it. And I actually really like the fact too that he kind of put a little story and explanation behind it too as well. So it has a decent tank. I like the fact that it has the probe launcher and the improved cloaking device. Miner 2s, has enough ore hold to make it worthwhile, so he actually can stay out for a while. And I believe, did he add some other stuff too? Yeah, he's a salvager, he's a gas cloud harvester, so this is something you can like refit on the fly for the most part. And again, like he said prior, he does have these ECM drones to basically ECM the crap out of anyone that tries to tackle you out in wormhole space. So I think this is like the first, and I believe maybe the only fit that we have that focuses on actually wormhole and potentially do it a bit of gas harvesting too as well. So big props to you, man. This fit definitely seems like well thought out. With the refitting as well as like the core probe launcher and the cloaking device. So I dig it, man. I really dig it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and look at JD Brand's fit. This is the guy that submitted the Neros fit earlier. And so this is a battleship for mining. If I was going to mine in a battleship, this would be it for cargo and tanks. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at it. Simulate it. So it's a Praxis. Okay, so he's got 4 miner 2s in the highs. Good spread. Oh yeah, even has extra large ancillary shield boosters. So I like the burst of healing here as well as the shield extenders. And so, man, this is almost like the epitome of a Praxis. It just has a really good spread and balance of mining yield and cargo size and passive tank and kind of like burst healing on yourself. Let's go ahead and take a look at the drones here. Yeah, he's very suited up for ice mining drones as well as just normal mining drones and wasps as well. So I dig the fit, man. It's very, very well rounded. I would argue this is probably the most like well-rounded fit that we have so far. And so I really like the Neros one, and I really like this one too. So I appreciate the submissions, man. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at the other ones here in a second. Okay, and the next one we're going to look at is the submission from, I believe it's Okoroshi. Not entirely sure, but he says non-ore mining fit. So we'll go ahead and take a look at this. It says Okoroshi. Is it, and I've seen this, is this Oroke? Or I've seen some people also pronounce it as a rock too as well. I guess it really depends on how you pronounce it. But I really like the look of the fit so far. I also like the ship too. I've never flown it, but I always felt like the ship itself just looks like a gun. Almost like a first-person shooter if you put it at this angle. Almost looks like a shotgun or some sort of like assault rifle from like Halo or something like that. But anyway, looking at the fit, I love the fact that he's using as many of the turret hard points as he can. It's really tough to probably get more than 6, to be honest, but I like the fact he's using a good balance of like the mining lasers and the mining upgrades as well. The small tractor beam is a nice touch. That's a bit of utility as well. So for like some fleet mining stuff or some wrecks, who knows? As well as the scope survey scanner. So I really like the look of this overall. He's utilizing the rigs for some cargo optimization, and I believe with the math, I mean, what is it? Probably 700 M3 with 1 cycle of these plus some drones, which is like another 300. So I would say with one cycle of everything over the course of a minute, he'll probably almost fill up his cargo hold. So he's really utilizing that cargo hold as much as he can, and he actually has enough passive tank and some large shield boosters here as well. So I dig it, man. This is definitely a well-rounded fit, at least in terms of like utility. I would say this is the ship that probably has like the most utility with the combination of the survey scanner and the large tractor beam. So I dig it, man. I dig the look of the ship and the fit, and I appreciate the submission. So I believe we only have 1 or 2 more fits to look at here in a second. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those. Okay, so this is actually the last one, and this submission is from Void Strider again. This is the guy that sent in the classic Vexor 2006 fit that he had prior without the rigs and stuff. So I appreciate that. And so he said this is a major gank bait ship. So it's already a Megathron, so I already know it's going to be good before I even open it up. Wow, I dig this, and this is pretty pricey. Obviously 3.1 bill. Ore miners. Okay, so this is a guy that clearly just put the most expensive modules in every single slot for the most part. So dude, I don't know why, but I love the look of these low slots. Like nothing is the same. He has the CPU, expanded ore hold. He has a mining laser upgrade, thermal coating, a plate, an armor repair, a pretty pricey armor repair too, kinetic coating, and then a damage control. And then and here he is just using a series of armor reinforcers for EM explosive and things like that. But whoops, what happened here? I dig the fit, man. I've always loved the look of the Megathron and those kind of like stylish ships and stuff. I think these mid slots he's just trolling again. He's just trying to increase the price as much as possible, and and just a huge variety of different drones as well. So I dig it, man. The only small thing I think I would change is like if you're really just trying to crank up the price, I definitely know that this isn't even something I would change. This is just kind of like the Pith A type, like multispectral like shield harness. Like I mean, those are almost like a bill a pop. So you could definitely swap in some of these and like put those in there if you wanted to rack up the price. But I like the ship, man, and it's definitely gank bait. If I saw a ship or someone scanned down the ship and saw all the modules on it, you would definitely get ganked. So I appreciate the submission, man, and we'll go ahead and announce the winners here in a second. Okay, and now to reveal the oreless mining ship that's under 25 million ISK. Honestly, it was a toss-up between 3 different ships that I was looking at, but I'll go ahead and just reveal it right now. It has to be the O-Mine by Million Hat. I really love this ship, and it really came down to, if I was stuck in a mining belt all day, if all I was doing was mining all day for 8, 10, 12 hours, what ship would I want? And it had to be this one, just because of the extended cargo capacity. I like the fact that he has mining drones. He does have the hobgoblins to defend himself as well. It has enough tank to maybe fight off a bad ganker, something like that. It's just barely enough, but it had to be this ship. I honestly really liked Void Strider's his story from being back in 2016 and keeping very true to the fit and keeping it very minimalistic, just because that's how things were back then. So I love the fact, and I love that the ship fit that he sent over, as well as JD Brands, because this one was super inexpensive and it was super tanky compared to the other ones. But again, the yield is just atrociously low, and I would just hate to be stuck out in a belt in this ship. And so I do like the fact that he can use drones. Like that's actually really impressive to me in a hauler fit. But again, if I really was stuck in a mining belt all day and I had to pick one of these miners, it would definitely be the O-Mine by Million Hat. So congrats, man, and we'll go ahead and do the announcement for the other ships. Okay, and now for the winner of the No Limit Oreless mining ship. Honestly, this one was really close. Again, between 3 different ships. I honestly would have picked all 3 for completely different reasons, but we'll go ahead and reveal it, and it has to be Eve Mastery's Cinnaball fit. So first of all, this is a ship you just don't see very often, and second, I love the sheer creativity and uniqueness of this ship. I like the fact that, I mean, of course it doesn't have the highest yield, but it has the core probe launcher. It has the improved cloaking device. This thing is designed to be able to go into wormholes. It has the ECM drones to be able to shake people off of you once they do find you or start locking you down. You can also do gas cloud harvesting as well as just normal ore harvesting. So I really like the sheer utility of it and the fact that you can scan down sites and keep things fresh and interesting. And I had to kind of go back to that baseline or that question of, hey, if I had this ship all day, which ship would you, if you had a ship all day, which ship would you pick? And it'd probably be this one, just for the fact that it can go into wormholes and scan out sites and keep things interesting. Okoroshi's rogue fit is, I mean, there's a couple small things I would change, which is probably for another video. I might actually go over some of these fits and some of the small changes I would do personally, but I just treated all these fits as is and didn't want to change anything or make any adjustments. If you make a couple changes and let's say you fill these all up, I mean, you're pretty darn close to being on par with barges. And the fit isn't ridiculously priced. I mean, yeah, it's definitely up there, but it's actually somewhat on par with barges. So I love the look of the ship. I love the fact of how everything is set up, that he's really making use of most of these turret hardpoints. I really like the ship, as well as having all of the mining drones. Same thing with JD Brand's Battleship. This thing is super tanky, pushing 100,000 EHP. I love the spread of the large shield extenders and some of the other things as well to kind of help bulk up the ship a bit more. And then, of course, just like most of the other similar ships, the praxis is just very well rounded. So again, all those ships I would have honestly picked for very different reasons, but I have to go back to Eve Mastery's fit here. And so he is the winner. We'll go ahead and take a look at what the rewards are. Okay, and here are the rewards. I don't know if you guys are boys and girls, so I figured, especially for the winners, honestly, this is mostly stuff I'm trying to get rid of. So the winners are getting 2 Master at Arms Cerebral Accelerators. I figured these are really good. Everyone can use Cerebral Accelerators. You could put them in skills that you want or sell them, whatever you want to do. I figured it's much better than just giving you random ships and stuff. And also just some things to keep you company, because again, I don't know if you guys are boys and girls, so I'm just going to send this over. Eve Mastery, thank you so much for the fit. I love the Cinnaball fit. Here it goes. And again, here is Million Hat with the O-Mine or the Omen ship. I really loved that fit, man. And so here you go. Here is the reward, Master at Arms, and the pair of exotic dancers. I'm sure one, if not both or all 4 of them, will definitely keep you busy. So here it goes. And you know what? I actually wanted to give a little something for the guys that participated and didn't win, especially in my first giveaway. I love the stories and all that other stuff that you guys have done. And making this, honestly, this video happen. If it wasn't for you guys, this video either would have been very short or I would have had to cancel it altogether. So I do have these basic Radiance Cerebral Accelerators. They're not as good as the other ones, but at least it's something, and there are things I got from the Crimson Harvest event, and I've been trying to get rid of them anyway, so I figured you guys could make use of it. And here are some dancers to keep you occupied as well. Only one of each, not pairs. Maybe next time. Alright, and again, that last guy was the one that actually sent the Miasmos fit. This is the guy that sent in the classic Vexor fit, as well as the incredibly overpriced Megathron fit as well. So here are your dancers and your accelerator. Alright, this one is for JD Brand. This is the person that did the really cool, cheap Neris fit that was super tanky, as well as the Praxis fit. I honestly really liked both of his fits. So here you go. Here is the Radiance as well as your dancers. All right, and this one is for D. Geva. This is the person that sent the Ragnarok fit. Even though they broke the rules, they at least took the time to send in a fit, even though it was incorrect. So I wanted to show my appreciation. Here's your accelerator and your dancers. Last and certainly not least is Okoroshi's Rogue fit. Dude, I really like that, and only because I had some extra exotic dancers as well as a slightly better cerebral accelerator. I figured you were the one that was the most worthy of these rewards. So here are your dancers and the slightly better accelerator. And that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the fits. And after 800 million or so in rewards later, I really want to make sure I thank the participants for taking the time to submit your fits, whether it took you a couple minutes or even a couple hours. I just want to make sure that it was worth your guys' time and give you the praise that you deserve. So Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Do you think the people that I picked were the right winners? Did you have a different fit in mind? Or was there a different ship that you guys liked a bit more than the others? So again, I actually did get some ideas from this video. I might actually fit a few of these ships myself and actually go out and fly and mine it a bit, as well as submit some of my own mining ships that I was thinking about submitting myself, but I wanted to kind of keep it more focused on the people that took the time to make the ships themselves. So if you guys like the video, go ahead and let me know down in the description below. Like, comment, and subscribe, and you guys fly safe.